Hello everybody, it's Foster and I am back with another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the books that kind of just got me into reading. I started reading when I was like 8 or 9. I had read before that, obviously, but it just wasn't something I was really into. It wasn't like I disliked it, it wasn't a hobby. It kind of became a hobby at 9 or 8 or 9. Probably more like 9. The first book I remember actually really liking was The Boxcar Children. I remember I think I had watched, I feel like there was a movie for it, the Boxcar Children movie. I think it was on Netflix. I have a vague memory of watching that. And then I read the book and I obsessed over that. I think I read it 2 or 3 times. And then my mom ordered me the second one, and I loved that one. And at 10, I finally got a library card, so I remember then I checked out a bunch of Boxcar Children books and stuff. 10's probably when it especially got worse because I got the library card. I borrowed a bunch of books from my aunt before I got the library card, so reading was definitely still something I liked, but it took a step further when I got that library card, not gonna lie. The second series that I remember really liking I actually have right here, but I don't know how safe it is for me to try and move. It's the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. I own them all. I've read all of them but the last one. And this is kind of the first series that I got into because I liked the Boxcar Children, but I never read all the series, and I definitely never read them in order. I read the first 2 in order, and that's about it. I did not read any of the other ones in order. I read some of the other ones. I never read them all. Obviously, there's a ton of them, and I kind of just moved on to other books. Like this one. These series. I'm scared to put them back on the bed. I feel like they're going to fall off. But yeah, this series, my mother got me the movies. I think we rented the movies, and then she got me The Meltdown. That's upside down. The Meltdown for like Christmas one year, probably when I was 9 or 10. She got me The Meltdown, and I remember I really liked it, and then I started collecting the series, and I got like the first 7 books, I think, and I read all them, and then I just have slowly over time collected all of them, and it's still just kind of tradition for me to go and buy the newest book, and that one this year was this one. So me and my sister both read these. I've not read the newest one yet. I really need to, but this year is the only year I've not really been super excited about reading it. It's not like I don't want to read it, I just haven't yet. Maybe I will. But I also have, I'm scared to move these. I also have the Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid. That was not new, but like, it came after Diary of a Wimpy Kid. If I can move these over there without breaking a bone or a book. Anyways, we're just gonna leave these here. They're all fine. Anyways, after I got into that, or during the same time, I started reading Dork Diaries when I was like 9 or 10, maybe 11 at this point. I started reading Dork Diaries, and I loved this series probably more than Wimpy Kid, because I was a very dramatic princess, little girly girl, and I still am very dramatic, as y'all probably know. So this book was kind of perfect for me, and I also own all but the last book of the series. They're in my closet though, and I wasn't about to try and give myself a concussion. But yeah, the Wimpy Kid books live in my sister's room, and she actually got mad at me for taking them out, but it's fine. She'll not be pleased to know I dropped them in the floor. These, I remember I really liked them. I thought that Nikki was very relatable or whatever to my 11-year-old self. I was very dramatic, very high-strung, very girly, very chaotic, and I don't know how my parents dealt with me. But yeah, that was probably my main obsession back then, because it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid but girly, you know? And then about 12 is when my reading obsession became an obsession. Like, I had liked it before, but when I hit 12, everything went downhill very quickly. I had got my library card at 10, and I had been reading. As I said, I showed you the books I had been reading. But by the time I hit 12, I had pretty much moved on from Wimpy Kid and Dork Diaries. And I remember the first fantasy series I ever read was Fairy Tale Reform School. It was kind of like Keeper of the Lost Cities back then, but less obsession. Like, I read them, and I remember I was so mad sometimes, and I was so happy other times. The main character is Gilly. Her family is, like, poor, and she steals to help feed her, like, siblings. And so that lands her in Fairy Tale Reform School, where she meets Jax. And I remember I really liked Jax. He's supposed to be like Rapunzel's little sister, or little brother. And I was a Rapunzel kid, okay? When I was little, that was my Disney movie. And then it did kind of become Frozen, to be honest. But now, Tangled is the best Disney movie ever. Changed my mind. It's a very good movie. And back then, was also my opinion. I think I liked Tangled all growing up, around 8 or 9 probably. I really got obsessed with Frozen, and then around, like, I don't know. I was obsessed with Tangled and Frozen. Now I'm obsessed with Tangled, not so much Frozen. Anyways, so the fact that it was like literal fairy tale retellings, or not retellings, but like continuations maybe even, I thought that they were the greatest thing in the world. These are my sister's books. Again, I get her into series I liked when I was little sometimes, and it's so great to hear her thoughts on it. And she liked this one enough to buy them all. Or I think my mom got them for Christmas. But that was the first fantasy I ever got into. And of course, what started the book collecting thing, the series was, of course, Keeper of the Lost Cities. It is in probably all my probably all my videos, because it's right here, right beside me. I still love this series a lot. I remember I had watched a video, it was Studio B. She had made a video about the first book, Keeper of the Lost Cities book, and I don't know, I just really wanted to read it. I became obsessed with the idea of reading it. I feel like I've said obsessed like 20 million times in this video, but I really wanted to read it. I go to the library, it's on the new shelf, so they had just bought it, and I was like, it's meant to be. And so I read it, and as you can tell, it grew to be a little bit of a problem. I read it, and then I go to the library again, and I get the next, like, 4 in the series. I think they had the Exile, Everblaze, Neverseen, and Lodestar, but they never got Nightfall and everything after it. So I, being the little obsessive girly that I am, I took matters into my own hands, and I ordered the entire series without reading all of them. It was my first book purchase for sure. Probably still my biggest purchase. So yeah, I did that. I ordered them all except Unlocked, and Stellar Loon wasn't out at the time. I got them all except Unlocked, and then my mom bought me Unlocked like a month later, I think, because she's amazing. And then I pre-ordered Stellar Loon when it came out, and Stellar Loon, it was really good. That's all I'm saying. And I've not talked about this in a video, and this is completely unrelated to the video, but there's another book coming out in November that I'm super excited about, 9.5, and it's from Keith's point of view, and I love Keith. Just saying, if you've not heard about it, I think it's up, not November. For some reason I want to say November 1st, but I think that I'm getting it confused with Nothing Like the Movies Day. I think that's October 1st. So I'm not sure exact dates. It's on my calendar, as most book releases are. So maybe I'll put it on the screen somewhere. So that was completely sidetracked. But this is the series that really got me into collecting books. And then I have it over there. I should have brought it over here. But I think when I was 12, I also read The Maze Runner. I read The Maze Runner before I read Keeper by a lot. I remember I read the prequel whenever COVID was going on. And then I had read the rest of the series, I think, before that. I read the Maze Runner probably like 11 through 12. And then I think I was rereading it whenever COVID kind of went on. So I kind of freaked myself out with that. And then, yeah, that was the first dystopian book I read. I read that before The Hunger Games. I'm trying to think of any other books I read. I don't really think anything stands out to me. I read a lot of standalones, like in between Diary of a Wimpy Kid era and Keeper era. Keeper era is still going strong, just so you know. And yeah, I think I read a lot of standalones. One of them was The Lonely Heart of Maybelle Lane. I don't know what the author was, but that was like the first enemies to lovers thing I read. It was like juvenile, so it wasn't seriously enemies to lovers, I guess, but in my head it is, and in my head it was, and in my head it still is. I read One Speck of Truth. I also don't know the author. I really liked that one. I think I read both of these books twice. I read a book called Wish by, I think, Barbara O'Connor. It was about a girl and her dog. My sister owns a lot of these books. I really should be looking at her shelf right now, but I'm not. In fact, I might make a video where I just go in her room and like rate her books and talk about them. But there was a lot of standalones I read in between Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Keeper timelines, but I don't remember what they all were because I've read so many books now. And my shelf's starting to get full. I'm very happy. I had that shelf for the longest time. They both look the exact same, so it's not really a big deal. I had that shelf for the longest time, and it sat right here in all my videos. Keeper was on the top, and then romance and sci-fi was on the bottom. But my sister gave me one of her shelves, and it looked the same as mine. And so now I have all my Keeper books over here, and then the Inheritance games, and then just a bunch of random books that I'm reading or seeing right here. You can't see them. And then over there on that side of my room, there's a different shelf, and it looks exactly like that one, as I said. In the top shelf, I have sci-fi and dystopian. Actually, it looks like I just have dystopian over there. And then the one in the middle is romance and fantasy. So my shelves are a lot more organized in the past like month, and it makes me happy. So I decided to mention that. And then I have Hunger Games up there. This video is so crazy. Like, it went from talking about books I read as a kid to COVID to now. But yeah. So there is some of the books I read as a kid. This video is slightly unhinged, but I hope you were able to get through it. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider liking, and if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe. This is one of the first videos I'm making face to camera. I do a lot of shorts and stuff, but I want to start trying to do this more, so if you have any ideas, please leave a comment down below and let me know, because I need ideas. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!